if I am doing pi over 6, that's pi over 6 radians. Okay? I'm going to do this for you in a second, but first we're going to finish this sine of pi over 6.
It's on.
Is it on? Thank you. The sine of pi over 6. This is a radian measure. Do you remember yesterday we changed radians back into degrees? Does anybody remember how we did that? What did we remember? What's pi equal to? 180. So pi over 6 would be, well, you could set it up that way, but you could actually make it easier than that, Joseph. If pi is 180, then a sixth of it would be 30. So this is really saying, let's find the sine of 30 degrees. So remember the picture that we drew for all those last few problems we did? We're going to draw that very same picture. Only instead of this being a 30 or a theta, this is now going to be a 30. Now we know our angle. It's 30. That's what our problem said. Find the sine of 30. Now, in order to find the sine, which is opposite over hypotenuse, I need to know what the opposite and hypotenuse are. Wait a minute. I have that memorized. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. What are the sides of every 30, 60, 90 triangle? Well, across from the 30 is the 1. The hypotenuse is 2, and across from the 60 is root 3. That never changes. That's the law. Now I want the sine. The sine. This is the angle now, 30. Right there's that theta. That's your angle. So what's the sine going to be? Opposite over hypotenuse. What's the answer? 1/2. How easy is that? If you have everything memorized, that problem is a cinch. Okay, we're going to do the rest of them. We'll get them done here real quick, but let me do this one first before I have to erase it. Did you use your Pythagorean theorem and find your hypotenuse?
No.
Oh, who said no? Oh my golly. We need the hypotenuse, don't we? So it's root 29. Everybody okay? Root 29? Now, what's the sine? Well, it would be opposite over hypotenuse. So did you write 5 root 29 over 29?
Yeah.
And the cosecant was root 29 over 5? Cosine, 2 over root 29, 2 root 29 over 29, and root 29 over 2. Tangent, 5/2, cotangent, 2/5. Who's got a question about that before I have to erase it?
I got it all right.
How many got it all right? From your memory, you think you got it all right? Wonderful, wonderful. All right, good deal. I'm glad we did that. Tangent, pi over 4. So now we're going to find the tangent of pi over 4. So what am I going to do first? Look at what I did over here. 180 divided by 4. And does Shawnee, do you happen to know what that is?
No.
45. So I'm going to draw that same picture that I've been drawn. Only this isn't theta. This is going to be 45 now. The sides of the triangle, this is a 45, 45, 90. So the sides are 1 and 1 and root 2. And I want the tangent. Now this is your angle right here.
How do we know again that it's square root?
We memorize it. That's on our gold sheet. The sides are 1, 1 and square root of 2.
Whenever it's 45.
Yep. You could also, if you know this is 1 and this is 1, you could do the Pythagorean theorem and get root 2. But it's always going to be 1 and root 2, always. That's on your gold sheet. You need to know that tomorrow. Now I want tangent. What's tangent? Opposite over adjacent. Remember, this is your angle here. It's like your theta. So opposite over adjacent would be 1 over 1, which is 1. Next, secant, pi over 3.
60.
That's 60. Remember, kids, pi is 180, right? So pi over 3 would be 60. So we're finding the secant of 60. All right, so I'm going to draw my same triangle. You're going to get tired of that triangle. Now I have to label the sides. You don't want to mess this up. You won't get the right answer. Across from the 60 is always the root 3. And before you say, how did you know that, Mrs. Ford? I memorized my gold sheet. You gotta memorize your gold sheet. I want the secant. Oh, shoot. What's the secant?
Hypotenuse over adjacent.
It's the reciprocal of the cosine. This is the reciprocal of the cosine. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So secant will be hypotenuse over adjacent. Does that make sense to everybody? So that will be hypotenuse over adjacent will be 2 over 1, which is 2. Joseph, are you doing okay here?
Yeah.
Cotangent, pi over 6. What's pi over 6? 30. 180 divided by 6, so that's the cotangent of 30. So here's my triangle. This is my 30. This is my 60. But my 30 is the important one. That angle always is the one you put right here. Whatever the problem angle is, it goes right here. 1, root 3, 2 are the sides. Remember, I wrote it on the gold sheet. Across from the 30 is 1. Across from the 60 is root 3. Across from the 90 is 2. The hypotenuse is 2. I want cotangent. Do it. Cotangent is reciprocal of tangent. If tangent is opposite over adjacent, then cotangent is adjacent over opposite. Adjacent over opposite. Did you get root 3 over 1 or just root 3? With your partner, would you, at your group, I don't care, 2 or 3 of you can work together, would you do E and F right now? Do E and F with your partner. Do it exactly the same way, see if you can figure out.
Do the next two.
Yeah, I got the first one. You already done the, yeah.
Always.
Yeah, we print that, John. Emily, come up and make sure Trey's on the right path. He's flying solo up here. Bailey, you guys got it? Marley, you by yourself back there?
Yeah.
You got a partner? I don't need a partner. All right, step one, did everybody get pi over 4 changed into 45?
Yeah.
Did everybody draw a picture that looked like this?
Yes.
Make sure you have the 1 and the 1 and the root 2 in the same spot I do. That's where they belong. Now we want cosecant. Oh Lord, what's cosecant? It's a co. It's the reciprocal of the sine. Cos do not go together. So it's got to go with the sine. The sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is going to be hypotenuse over opposite. Would you agree with me? And hypotenuse over opposite would be root 2 over 1, which is root 2. If you left it as root 2 over 1, that's fine. Anybody have a question about that? Cosine 60, everybody get 60? Pi over 3, 60? You draw a picture that looks like this? Make sure the 60 is right here. The angle in the problem goes here, always. Make sure you got your root 3 over here and your 1 here and your 2 here. That's where they have to be. That's the right place for them. And I want cosine. Now that's an easy one. Cosine. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so the answer is just 1 half. Feeling good about that? All right, we're gonna finish today with our calculator exercises. This last thing we're gonna do, get your calculator out. I told you yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, whenever I saw you, that we needed to have a calculator. So hopefully you brought one, and if you didn't, doggone it, bring a calculator. Get note next to somebody so you can watch, because there will be, you have to rent it.
Yo. I bet I know what we're gonna do in a second. We're gonna sign. Take care of that boy.
All right, here we go. First thing I want everybody to do is to just take a minute and look down through the problems. All right, there are 10 of them in this section. I'm on part 4. Would you focus? Look down. You see how there are 10 problems there? Some of them, the angle is in degrees, and some of them, the angle is in radians. So the first thing I want you to do is put a circle around all of the problems that are in degrees. We're going to do those first because we're going to have to set our calculator to deal with either degrees or radians. So we're going to do all the degrees first. So the circled problems should be A, C, E, F, I, and J. Those are the circled problems. Now we're going to go to our calculator, we're going to turn it on, we're going to go to mode, top row buttons, and make sure degrees is highlighted. Did you guys go to mode and make sure degrees is highlighted?
We did this yesterday.
Well, but that's my calculator, and I've been working in radians, so it might be set in radians, I don't know. All right, are we in, everybody got it in degrees now? Okay, so we're ready to do the problems. We're in degrees. The very first one says find the secant of 10 degrees. Groupies, you paid $100 for that calculator, and it does not have a secant button.
Childish.
The only way to find the secant of 10 degrees is to remember what secant is. What is secant? The reciprocal of the cosine. So this is what you type. 1 divided by cosine 10. You literally type the number 1 divided by cosine 10, and the answer you should get is 1.0154. That's the answer you should get. Is that what everybody got?
No.
Okay, let's try it again. Go to mode, make sure you're in degrees. Is degrees highlighted in mode? And then 1 divided by cosine 10. Did you get it now?
Bingo.
Okay. The only way to type a secant in on your calculator is to do 1 divided by cosine. Do not think you're going to do something tricky with any of the other buttons. That's not, you can't. This is the way we type it in. Everybody clear on that? Yes.
Could you like just do like normal cosine and then flip it at the end, or would you just
Well,
want to
if
start
you
off?
do the cosine of 10, it's going to come out as a decimal. So flipping it is, I mean, you would have to type in 1 divided by that decimal, and then you're just going to have a bunch of round off error.
Okay.
So it's just better to type in 1 divided by cosine. All right, so now we're going down to number C, letter C. Do we have a tangent button? Thank God. Press the tangent button. Now we have to put in 28 degrees. Do you remember where you get the degrees? Second apse. Here's your degree mark. And then 11. Second app, go down to the minute mark. And the answer you should get for letter C, I'll just put the answer up here, because there's no work to show. What you should get for letter C is 0.5358. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time, and then I'm not going to do it anymore because you were supposed to be following this yesterday. Press tangent, 28, go to second apse, that's your angle menu, and hit equals, so now it says 28 degrees. 11, second apse, go down to number 2, that's your minute mark, and you get 0.5358.
11.
If you don't know how to use your calculator, you need to get in and see me, or you need to find a friend. Okay? The next one is E. Now wait, there's a problem. What's the problem with E? I don't have a cotangent button. So guess what I'm going to have to type? 1 divided by tangent, 1319. So I am physically going to type, Jonathan, you paying attention? 1 divided by tangent. 1 divided by tangent. Then I put in my 13. Go get your degree mark. Put in 19 and go get your minute mark. And the answer is 4.2248. Okay, we're going to finish up the degree ones. Yes, ma'am.
How many places do you want us to go?
I've been doing 4, but we'll just have to follow whatever directions they have. In the book, they probably give you some directions for the homework. All right, F. Uh-oh, now we've got seconds. Before we get into this, who remembers where the seconds are on the calculator? Bailey? They're above the plus sign, so we have to do alpha plus. So, do we have a sign button? We're on F now. Do we have a sign button? Yes, good. We'll just press it. And then we have to put in 127, get our degree mark. get our minute mark. And then 13, and go to alpha plus to get your seconds. And your answer to F is 0.7954. F should be 0.7954. Thank you, Kermit. All right. Robbie, are you doing the right thing there? You're just pressing buttons. Okay. All right, so now we're on to I. I is a cotangent. Shoot. How do I have to type a cotangent? 1 divided by tangent. So I am going to type 1 divided by tangent. 158.19. So let's type that in. 1 divided by tangent. 158 degrees, 19 minutes. You should get negative 2.5150. And the last one, real quick, is a tangent. J is a tangent. So we can do that. So tangent, 300. 18. I got negative 1.7113. I round it off. All right. On, I guess, Monday, we will do. Wait, no, I see you. I see you tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we will finish up this section. Get this section done. All right, but wait. Before you take off, kid, what happens tomorrow? Quiz over memorization. Focus on getting that stuff memorized. No, it's like the practice one we did.